This is Revive FM 94.
Good evening and welcome to the Mahtab Aziz Celebrity Lawyer Show on Revive FM 94.0. Good to have you with us, as always. And our guest this evening, in fact, is Miss Ada Gartenman. Have I pronounced it right, Ada?
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
That's good. Thank you very much for coming along, Ada. Great to have you with us. And could you tell us a bit about your social work and how you help people?
Yeah, my name is Ada Garteman, and I'm born in Nicaragua. I moved in the 80s to Switzerland when I was my age 4 because the Civil War.
Yes.
My dad already was a diplomatic, and we had to move. So I didn't see the way how my dad helping people around the world, and that comes to me after to see children dying in my country when I left. So the memories stick with me forever.
Right. And so did you know much about Nicaragua, or did you go back there for a while, or?
Well, since I moved out of the country, I couldn't go there for a while.
Right.
I get back in the 90s once, and then I come back 2011, and then I get back in 2018. I spent time there because I was doing some research to make a book about the indigenous people by the coast. They were losing the land.
Right.
So I'm, as an activist for human rights, I was trying to help them.
Right.
But then become a little bit very heavy, and they stopped me to come into the country.
You might have to assist our listeners with actually locating where Nicaragua is, because Nicaragua is not a country that comes in the news a lot. I think probably one of the most well-known Nicaraguans I know of was probably Mrs. Mick Jagger. I believe she was from
Bianca Jagger. I mean, we know each other because she does amazing work as well as a human rights. And back 2016, 2018, I think all humanitarian people and activists, we try to get together and help the students where they want to raise the voice about the president, Daniel Ortega, which is in the power for many years.
Yes.
So, I mean, Nicaragua is between Costa Rica and Honduras.
Right.
Not far from the Canal of Panama.
Right. So is it sort of in that sort of thin neck you have between?
Yeah, you had the Atlantic side, and then
the thin sort of neck that you see.
Central America.
Yeah.
So then you have Mexico.
Yeah.
And then you have North America, which is USA.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. Mm-hmm. So overall, what were your experiences of being in Nicaragua? Is it a country that you felt comfortable with, because you lived in Switzerland for quite a while?
I never lived there, I'll be honest. I have family still there, and my sister, which is a pilot, and she's working very close to the president. We don't have much communication really because they work and I live here.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know much people there because I've been in Europe for long, but I really love my roots, and I always keeping interesting what is going on.
Sure. And in fact, so how long were you in Switzerland for? How long were you?
I was there in the 80s to 2003 when I moved to London.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. So you were there during the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that was a lot of people have fond memories of the 80s and 90s.
Yeah, it was lovely. I mean, I was already in Europe, which
right. Yes. So did you in fact study there? Because I know you have a
I did. Yeah.
Qualification in teaching, I believe. Teaching.
Yeah. I'm a teacher for primary school.
Right.
And then in Switzerland, but then I moved to BA, and then I moved to cosmetologist and aesthetic side, because that is the business I always want to be.
Right.
I always want to have my business where I can help women, and that is what I decided to do since I moved to UK.
Right. And because you mentioned your sister, so as a family, do you have many siblings?
Yeah, I have 2 sisters, 1 brother.
Right.
Yeah, one just a pilot and a lawyer also, and the other was just a doctor.
Right.
Pharmacist and lab. She like to do different things that I do. We all do different things.
Right. Well, you're all professionals. I mean, teaching profession yourself.
Yeah, I think my mom was teacher herself.
Oh, right. Okay.
So I think education for us as a middle class civilians back home, we had to push ourselves so hard, and we had to get some higher education by then.
Right. So was it your mother that pushed you more towards attaining qualification? Was it both?
It was important, both parents.
Both parents.
For then, we believe if you don't have knowledge, you cannot achieve much in life. So for them, it was so important for us to know exactly what we want to do, but also to be self-independent, probably economic. Yeah.
Right. Okay, great. Okay, well, we're going to sort of put the magnifying glass now to your life, and so tell us about your primary school. Do you have any memories of primary school which sort of stick in your mind?
Right now?
Yeah, we'll say, is there anything that happened in your primary school days that you still remember, or any sort of character or personality that you still remember?
Yeah, I mean, they always called me latte for my color, because most of my friends, they were white, and I was kind of bullying.
Right.
Yeah, so that was not nice. But then the other side, I was really happy because I was different.
So they called you latte because of the color of coffee, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Right. Okay. Well, latte is lovely coffee.
Yeah. So I didn't took into the wrong side. I think I took into my own advantage to be different. So
these days, people pay thousands of pounds to look like a latte person. Yeah, it's in fashion now.
Well, in London, it's more common, I would say, and this is lovely people anyway.
Right.
And just a color. It's lovely to be diversity, and everyone have different colors. So I'm looking very positive and happy when I've been around.
Right. So there is this element of as often happens with very young children, they like to sort of call other children names and that sort of thing. But you took it within your stride, and in fact you may manage to make it into a positive thing, and actually that's very good.
Because I become more popular, so everyone knows me. So I took more advantage to myself to be in all the group, dance, and more activity in the school.
Sure. Great. And were there any particular teachers that stood out for you at that time? Was there any particular teacher you felt was like very nice towards you or very supportive?
Everyone was supportive.
Yeah.
My teachers were very nice to me, actually.
Right.
Yeah, I still have great memories, and still in communication with some of them. Still my mentors sometimes.
Right. And at that point, did you know basic English at all, or at that time when you come from Nicaragua?
I did know English. Then in Switzerland, I have to learning French.
Yeah.
And German.
Right.
But in 2013, I have a stroke.
Right.
it took me a while to come back.
Oh, I see.
And then I have another small stroke in 2020 during the COVID.
Oh, I see.
After the COVID. So it being a while for me also to recover. But
right.
I think because I'm very energetic and I like to always feel good and do things good. So that helped me to push myself and not thinking too much about it.
Right. Were you able to look into the health situation and perhaps deal with it in a sort of way that you sort of perhaps reduce the chance of it happening again? And did you sort of look into that yourself?
I believe in the self-healing.
Yeah.
Mindset, positive thinking.
Yes.
And I don't try to take any medication, things like that. I only look after my diet, do some meditation, relaxing, and do activities like reading and talk. It really helped me.
Oh, very good, very good. Very brave of you, and a lot of people, take the sort of more easy route in the sense that they'd rather have medication. But in fact, I'm the same as yourself, and I try to avoid taking medication for a lot of things. I believe,
I really think people have the power to heal in themselves if they are aware of.
Yes.
When you don't know what illness is, or chronic pain, when you take medication, maybe for something really, really serious. The stroke is really serious, but it's only more in your brain, or more about you, how you can deal with the emotions.
Right. Well, that's a very good way of putting it. Definitely. So when did you first start thinking about helping others in the way that you have helped others?
With my foundation.
Yeah.
Back 2013, I went to India.
Right.
And I spent time with women. They were very brave entrepreneurs. And I spent and I learning with them, actually. Since that time, I thought I really want to work with women, and I start to help them. In 2013, I will say, but with the foundation more serious, more professional way, and provide services and do events and conference since 2020.
Right. So this foundation is this the one that you started yourself, or was there one before that you worked with?
I started myself since a teenager. I always like to do volunteering job, like the Red Cross, traveling with them. In England, when I come to live, I did work for the Heart Foundations, the British Heart Foundation, and the shop. Try to help them. It's something really is in me. It made me feel better.
Yes.
And I feel that I give back to society.
Right.
Whatever I can.
Yes, that's very good, and I'm sure many people have benefited from that. I mean, you've won quite a number of awards. What was the sort of like the first award that you won, which really made you spurred you
for
on
empowerment?
Yeah.
I got the award in 2014.
Right.
It was from one of the foundations for disability. I did help that foundation in Africa.
Right.
And then I got the award. It was calling Changing Life for the Better award.
Okay.
So it really, I thought the people not notice your job, but then I thought actually people have eyes on you and recognize what you put outside to the world. So, and I continue to working with other foundations. Then 2018, I go for another awards from another foundation, then for the UN, and then from the Life lifetime achievement from USA, the voluntary one. That was the big one in 2022. Yeah.
Right. Oh, good. I mean, when you were, say, after you left your primary school, so you went to a secondary school in Switzerland, or?
Yeah, I have to do a lot of work on that because I had to repeat some years, like equivalent, and I had to leave in the school. It was a boarding school when I moved to.
Right. Oh, I see. Right. Okay. And what subjects were you sort of particularly fond of, and did you excel at?
Economic really was very interesting for me.
Right.
Math, I really like.
So you're more of a maths person, not arts person. More of a maths person.
More math.
Right. Okay, that's good. And what about science subjects? Were you?
Science, I like research. It's something on me that I'm very curious about the brain, how the brain works. But I think I discovered this after my stroke because I want to healing myself.
Okay.
And I did want to understand why you have a stroke and how the mind works and how you can reprogram it from the negative to positive and change habits.
Right. I see. That's very interesting. I mean, you thought of this idea. Well, a lot of these ideas when you book Quarantina and Beyond. What does that mean, Quarantina? I explain.
Because everyone had the word of quarantine.
Yeah.
So we want to put quarantine. It was a word who come out, like I make it up.
Right.
And put together with the.
Right. So it should play on the word quarantine.
Yes.
Basically play on the word. Okay.
It really is. Maybe probably in Italian we'll say quarantine.
Yeah.
But it's still not there. It's a new word we created.
Right. And what was the basis of this book? What was the target audience?
I was working with in leadership. In 2019, we started with the leadership program of my organization and collaborating with other organizations around the globe. We're supposed to meet in Miami to have an award ceremony on the 8th of March for women in 2020, I think, when the COVID started and the quarantine. So we decided to do online because we didn't travel. And then from then we created the idea of the book. But it was not only mine, it was the idea from other leaders as well.
Right. And how did it sort of help people in their sort of day-to-day lives? How did your book help people?
That book is very interesting because we were actually all the countries getting closing down and we were connecting like 24 hours on social media. Okay. So it was the biggest challenge for humanity to move completely your lifestyle and the social media. So we decided to have a lot of meetings on Zoom and books and just that was the way how Quarantine and Beyond create.
Right, and this book, I believe, contains sort of many sort of different stories and accounts of perhaps inspirational leaders from different backgrounds. Would you like to just tell us a few of those examples of the leaders you chose?
Yes, I was working with Mauricio Amoy Foundation in Costa Rica. He is a survivor of child abuse, and he's still working on that. So his personal life story is quite interesting because he talked about it for the first time. And the book is like kind of people tell stuff they never want to talk about it, but it was they open to combine what happened during the COVID.
Right. I see. And the book is still available online, is it, or is it?
Yes, it's in Amazon. They're selling quite a lot more in USA because my publish is in America.
Right.
But in here you can get it online, Amazon.
Right.
Yes.
And how did you choose those particular stories? I mean,
I did choose the people.
Yeah.
That was inspires me in that moment.
Right.
And when I know about them, the humanitarian work that we're actually doing, it was true, and I know most of them.
Right.
That is why I asked them to share with me the book.
Right.
Become a co-author.
Right. That's good. And there were quite a few, nearly 50. I think
47.
Yeah.
47. I did want to have 40.
Right.
To be quarantined.
Right.
And get all together in 40. I don't know why. Right. But it was so many people that want to be in the book that I have to cut it down to 47.
Right. That's very good. And but was it a mix of male and female stories?
Yes, we have males and ladies. We have different background, people, actors, fashion, coach, mentors. Everyone is in there.
Right.
Yeah.
Great. And the feedback you've got from that book, people reading it, was it generally quite positive? People were inspired by the stories.
And that moment, I think once the first book written during the lockdown in collaboration with the other authors, and inspires many other people around the world to keep on doing the same thing.
Right.
In that moment, everyone's thought it was amazing and great idea that we have, and people was buying quite a lot and become bestseller. Right. Everywhere. Mm-hmm.
Very good. And if you could move on to the therapies that you have become an expert at, holistic therapies, Reiki and aromatherapy. Tell us about that. How have you dealt with that in terms of giving that treatment or healing to people? How do you use those different methods?
When we had the spa in Chelsea, we had a few people interested to become a Reiki healer and have a healing center to go there and have different therapists. I always like to know everything about how you can help and change people. So I study myself to understanding how it works. And then we opened the center for, to the public.
Right.
Become very successful, as we say always. There are some people better than the other one. They take very serious the therapist. Some people don't believe. Right. But in general, will help the people to feel better from depression or any mental health issues. Right. Or stroke is the recovered therapist. Normally, if you believe in that, will help you.
Right. So if someone had unfortunately had a stroke and they came to you, how would you go about assessing what the best sort of treatment for them would be? What are sort of different
we
factors?
have a doctors and coach, and then after they decide what is the best therapy for them.
Right.
If he is like aromatherapy or Reiki always is in there.
Yes.
But then if he is acupuncture or any other holistic therapist can help.
Right. So you basically you work in combination with medical experts, medical doctors. You work in combination.
Homeopathic doctors, quite a lot as well. Acupuncture, so more. It's a combination of Eastern and Oriental medicine.
Oh, so you also you mean like Chinese?
We do the acupuncture.
Chinese acupuncture. Yeah. Oh, so basically you look at across the board at the different types of what we call alternative medicine.
Medicine, yeah. I believe in the homeopathic medicine. Right. I see a lot of results, and I can see the clients they get best result as well. It takes a little bit longer probably the Eastern medicine, but I can see the benefit on them. Yeah.
Right. So have you've had certain number of success stories where people have come to you and without actually having to have an operation, they managed to get better through this alternative.
Yes, the combination of that. It has to be like the medicine you're taking inside, but also outside of the body, but change the diet. It's a long process. It's like a proper coaching that you need to do for your well-being in general.
Right. And is there any condition in particular that you found appears to benefit more from this?
I see a lot of people with diabetes, overweight, or mental health problem, depression. I see a lot result in positive changing of them. Yes.
Right. So this treatment is actually not just sort of like physical, but it can be
working in your mind as well and inside of your body. Yeah.
Right. That's good. Do you intend to write a book about that as well, or?
Looking into actually my next book gonna be more about the well-being.
Right. Because you probably had so much sort of exposure and experience of it. I'm sure you probably be able to give many examples of how people have benefited from it.
It's great to have a group of people expert in the book.
Right. And what about the Reiki? Is it Reiki or Reiki?
Reiki.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How does that work in terms of?
Basically, it's a meditation. You are there in very peaceful room.
Right.
They not actually put your hands on in your body. It's just from far away.
Right.
But it's kind of energy warming up.
Oh, I see.
It's gonna pass to you, but without touching.
Because I imagine, I had thought the Reiki was where they sort of massage your head or something.
No, the way we do it, we not touch people most of the time.
Right.
It's more to exchange energy through them, see you and put your hands a little bit far away.
Right.
So the warmth and the light, it will healing you.
Yeah.
The aura, basically.
I see. Right. Okay, that's great. Okay, well, fascinating. Speaking about all these different methods, we're just going to go to a break now, and we will be back. So stay with us, and we can carry on this fascinating conversation with Ada.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.